Lucas is back. Sam and oh God, what's up with you? Hip Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip Hop Uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive.
Interested in promoting your brand, business, or talent on Hip Hop News Uncensored? Hit me up right now at advertise@hiphopun.com. That's advertise@hiphopun.com. Hit me ASAP. Very affordable rates. Now to our regularly scheduled program.
I would say that hip hop is off track, but I would say in terms of their ability to market themselves, in terms of their ability to cut out the middleman, and in terms of their ability to be autonomous, seemingly autonomous financially, is a good thing. And I say across the board, we're seeing people who are making moves independently, and they're generating numbers that you know, I hope that some of that stuff can be put to use and not just put to, you know, bottles of Alizé, you know. But we can still hope and pray, can't we?
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's take the Cosby model. Let's try to identify young people who are academically successful but financially unable to get over the hump in terms of college affordability. Let's try to target our efforts so that we can have the Alizé and also build a bridge of opportunity for young people that are deserving, who just need a little bit of capital. You know, that's an idea.
Right. Do you feel like hip hop is over sexualized in a way? It was a time that, you know, you had your artists, and like you said, they were recognized, even female artists were more so recognized for the lyrics. Now, every woman now is half naked. You know, that's the way they promote themselves. Do you think it's too much of that going on in hip hop?
I think I really believe in the artist's individual freedom to do as they choose. My personal preference is different. My personal preference is that they would balance some of the sexual expression with, like you said, a dedication to their content lyrically, or at least a diversity in terms of what they focus on lyrically, as opposed to popping the coochie. My coochie can pop better than your coochie, you know, whatever they're doing. So like, I mean, for me, it's not just, I'm not a prude. I don't object to it in terms of a moral point of view. I just think it's boring as fuck.
Man, thanks. Let me ask you this: when do you think hip hop took the turn where lyrics fell off and it was more for entertainment, less content purpose? And why do you think that happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, remember, I don't know if you ever saw I used to work with Russell Simmons, and we did, and I was in this thing, The Gas Face, with the Third Face many years ago. Anyway, I was involved in the music industry tangentially. You know, I was adjacent to it. So I've seen different phases of it, and I think that, you know, I was there at the dawn of what I perceived to be the real commercial overtaking of hip hop, and obviously, there was Hammer and Vanilla Ice and so forth. They were selling so many records that there became such a disincentive to promote substance, which I think that happens a lot in corporate culture. You know, they're like, this particular unit is really delivering revenue-wise, and so we're going to replicate that. We're going to go for that. So I think that was a real turning point. I think people overreacted by charging the artist as opposed to charging the game, because the artists were just like, oh, I'm marginally talented and I'm selling 9 million. Good for me, you know.
Right.
I can't imagine anybody who had very little talent that would pass that up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just business. But I think that the negative aspect of the culture is that there became all of this corporate interest marketing. Actually, it had the opposite effect. Anything too complicated, anything too artistically ambitious is the problem, you know. And
Right.
so I think that became a problem. Now, obviously, people broke through because they had yet to clamp down on it completely. But at some point, you know how they do. At some point, they figure out how to shut every door. You know, they have their meetings and they're like, you know, anybody come up in here with some conscious shit, we fire it.
Right. And do you think, in your opinion, do you think that's, to kind of continue to destroy, in particular, the Black community and communities of color? Because in that same breath, we talk about the over sexualization. We can sit there and talk about violence. Like I was listening to Pooh Shiesty, and I like 21 Savage and him, and they talking about gunning other Black people down and what would happen if you do this and this and that. And I'm like, man, like how come that's success? We could say that, but if I said I was going to gun an Asian down, white person, or anybody else down, it would be outraged. But when we talk about we gunning each other down, it's millions of dollars that go behind that. So what do you think?
Yeah,
Do you think it's a corporate, sweep to like just destroy the whole community while profiting off of it at the same time?
I do. I think it's self-perpetuating in the sense of so many people have been successful denigrating us that it's now a cottage industry. I think that's the problem. Once somebody wins doing that, now they create a whole infrastructure around that, and I think we're unfortunately, living with that. Living with that pernicious and ugly influence. I think it is backed by a measure of contempt for Black folks. I think that we need to just come to grips with that there are people out there who are not for us, not for our advancement, not for the rising levels of vibration and consciousness. But I mean, I think that it's not exclusive to us. I think there's probably an extra special contempt for Blacks in some quarters, but I think in general there are forces that are disinterested in raising the vibration to the point where it's like the messages are life affirming, the ideas are edifying and enriching and support life and support progress. You can see that in television. There was a time when I grew up, probably before you guys, but when I grew up, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock was called the family hour, right? You never find anything that wasn't vetted through the lens of is this appropriate for children? But with the rise of cable television and the ubiquity of media, people are looking to counter program. So while y'all are doing that stuff, we're going to go raw at 8 o'clock. Then you draw all the attention of the audience to the more baser, more what they call edgier stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's a need for balance in the universe and on television and in the music and in the radio, and we just don't have it. It's all leaning towards one thing, and for the most part, leaning towards degradation, particularly hip hop, unfortunately.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Obviously, not all hip hop. Obviously, there's great people out there still.
Yeah.